I keep getting asked from people if they should buy a house right now. Either that be for a home or an investment property, or should you wait until the housing market crashes? In this video, I'm gonna show you if you're the type of person that should be waiting for the housing market to crash, or if it's okay to buy a house right now. Let's start with someone that needs to be waiting for the housing market to crash, because in the next 6 to 12 months, we could possibly see either a stall in prices or a decline in prices. Why? I break down the reasoning and the math in this video right here in full detail. So if you wanna go check that out, go check it out. But in case you don't want the full details and you just want the quick and dirty math, I'm gonna give it to you right now. In the next 6 to 12 months, mortgage rates are gonna be increasing. Everyone is predicting it. Why? Because of inflation. Inflation has risen to what it was back in 2008. If you remember right, what happened back in 2008? We had one of the worst housing market crashes in our history. With that being said, mortgage rates tend to follow the inflation rate. So with inflation rates going up, mortgage rates are gonna be going up with it. Here's the quick and dirty math. Let's say you're buying a house for $300,000, which is actually below the median house price in the United States right now. So this is actually practical. Let's say you're buying a house for $300,000 at a 2.9% interest rate, which is what you can get right now in 2021. Well, now what if rates go up, which they are? What if they go up to what interest rates were back in 2018, which is actually a 4.54% interest rate? Now you're gonna have to actually make an extra $10,000 a year extra to afford this same price of $300,000, but only now at a 4.54% interest rate. Before I get into the type of person, if you should wait for the housing market to crash or if you should buy a house right now, if you're interested in the housing market, real estate investing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click the bell icon to get notified when I upload a new YouTube video, just like this one, because this YouTube channel is all about real estate. First, I'm gonna be describing the people that should be waiting for the housing market to crash. The first type of person that should be waiting for the housing market to crash is someone that isn't going to be living in a house for longer than 7 years. Just think about it. If you're gonna be buying a house right now, let's just say if you lose your job, you have to relocate your family and whatever else, you have to relocate to another city, and now you have to sell your house that you're living in right now. Just think about it. If you buy the house right now, and you have to relocate in a year or 2 years and the house market actually does crash, you're not gonna be able to sell your house. Now you might be thinking to yourself, James, I'm just gonna rent it out until that time comes. Well, now you might be actually in a spot of actually losing money, because not all houses are actually gonna be cash flowing, but I digress. So you're not gonna be able to sell your property because it's gonna be worth less than what you bought it for. And in this case, if you do decide to sell it way less than what you actually owe on the property, it's called a short sale, and then this actually affects your credit. And why do I say 7 years? Because on average, it's gonna take about 7 years for the market to actually come back up to what you bought the property at after a crash. The second type of person that should be waiting for the housing market to crash is actually people that are flipping homes, and your rehab is going to take longer than 4 months, because 4 months is cutting it really close for comfort unless you have great profit margin. But I'll be going over that with the type of people that should be buying houses right now. But let's get into the third type of person that should be waiting for the housing market to crash. That third type of person is actually a new real estate investor that doesn't know how to run your numbers. Actually, you shouldn't be investing in real estate at all if you don't know how to run your numbers. So I made a video right here that if you don't know how to run your numbers, that's the video you're gonna be wanting to watch, because I show you exactly how to do it and do it correctly. So if you're a new real estate investor, you should be waiting for the housing market to crash unless you have a screaming deal. So that's going to lead me into the type of people that should be buying houses right now. The only person that should be buying houses right now is everyone, but only if you have a good deal. So think about this, and I kind of already touched on it with the flipping houses. Let's just say, I'm just gonna exaggerate right now. Let's just say you found a property that you're gonna be cash flowing $1,000 every single month, and you have $100,000 worth of equity inside the property you're about to buy. Are you really gonna wait for the housing market to crash? Of course, this is all relative to the amount of money that you have to put down to get this property, because if you're cash flowing $1,000 a month, but you had to put $1 million down on the property, that's obviously not gonna be worth it. But let's just say this is a screaming good deal. Now, are you really going to want to wait for the housing market to crash to maybe make another $100 a month in cash flow and maybe make another $50,000 worth of equity? There is a 0% chance that property is going to be available after the housing market crashes. Now, if you want to find deals just like that, there's going to be a video popping up right here. So go check out that video if you want to find those type of deals that have that kind of potential. So I'll see you in that video.